Welcome back. Well, from the El Toro Water District today, we have their board president, Jose Vergara. Great to have you here today, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Ken.
Always good to see you. And today you're going to talk about well, some things that have been in the news recently. And one of the proposals that the governor is talking about is taxing water more and all this. But you're going to go through kind of the backstory on this and what this is all about. And really, a lot of the water districts are looking at this going, no, wait a second, let's get a plan in place.
That's correct, Ken. The reason I'm here is for tax, but I just want to give you a short update. A couple months ago, one of our directors resigned. He moved out of the service area, Director Goldman. So we appointed somebody else. So we have a new director. Her name is Kate Havens.
All right.
And she lives in Laguna Woods. So you may have seen her, I know.
Okay.
Just an update. One of the things I want to discuss today is the water tax. Let's go back to 2012. In 2012, the legislature declared that every human has the right to have potable water. Mm-hmm. And basically, water is a human right.
Right.
And when a state makes that resolution, they have to provide that service, that right, that water. So ever since then, the governor has focused and the legislature has focused on trying to solve a problem. The problem has become evident few years ago when there was a big drought and you saw there were populations, some small communities along the Central Valley and the Northern California that didn't have enough water. Mm-hmm. So they had to bring bottled water to them. That's when most of the problem is posed. So there are about 300 systems in California that don't have pure water. They drill water from the well that gets usually contaminated with the time. Mm-hmm. It goes dry when the levels of water, groundwater goes down. They don't have water. So these people have to suffer. I mean, in the richest state of the country, problem because they don't have water. So it's becoming a concern of the governor that has to be solved. And believe us, the water district, the water agencies, we agree with the governor in this. We agree that nobody should go in California drinking bad water. Mm-hmm. So, and it is our job to make sure that water gets delivered. That's what we do for a living. We make sure that everybody gets water.
Right.
So one of the things, so we agree with the governor, we agree with the legislature, but we don't agree in the system that the governor plans to implement, which is collecting a tax. To make it simple, the tax will provide a bunch of money that they will then deliver according to nobody knows because they don't have a plan.
Right.
So we are proposing to the legislature, why don't we get together and prepare a plan, a solution, an engineering solution to the problem. We find out how much it costs, and then we make an implementation plan. And based on that, now you know how much money you need. We can find out the solution. And we discovered that in the last couple of years, the state has a surplus of $24 billion.
Right.
So why don't we take that money and put it into a fund, and then we start solving the problem instead of making the water district become a tax collector. Right. Because every year we have to raise our rate because of the cost of the chemistry, because of the cost of bringing the water. Now we're going to add more by adding a tax. We don't agree with that. And even though that's the case, the governor started proposing, it's only 95 cents. It's only 95 cents per household. Well, do you trust that?
No.
When we started...
Nothing with the state I trust.
When we started putting gasoline, it was 5 cents gasoline or 2 cents. Now how much we put in gasoline?
Right.
So, because then you find a way to increase it all the time. So, and the idea is that water tax will be 90 cents, but who knows? It's going to go up. There will be affordability because the problem is also some people don't have enough money to pay for the water. So you have to subsidize that. So pretty much is that. So you will see in the legislature a couple of efforts. One, trying to establish a fund to deliver the money and with a little oversight. And on the other side is the Senate. The Senate is saying, well, I agree with the water agencies because we want to have a system. But the governor has the ace in his hand because he has a trail bill put there. Now, trail bill.
And we've got this on the, I think on the next slide, the water tax proposals.
That's correct.
Have all this.
So the trail bill is actually part of the budget and will be approved. If they approve the budget, it will go through exactly collecting the tax. The idea is that they will collect tax on the water and also on the farmers.
Right.
There we go. So there are two bills proposed, one by Garcia, AB 217, and one by Bloom, is AB 134. Basically, they establish a tax for water and ag, and they will say, well, we'll put some oversight so you don't spend much. Then the trail bill from the governor is the one that is waiting. So in the other side, we had the Senate, the state Senate, that said, well, I kind of agree with the agencies. Why don't we have a plan first? Then Senator Moonin put a proposal that says, we establish a safe fund, and we have the state board develop the plan, implementation of a plan, and then now we know what we're going to be spending and how, and then we know what kind of money. And then let's take 150 million every year from the fund that we have in the state, put it for the water. Now, if we don't need that anymore, we'll reduce it. If we need a little bit more, we reduce it. So at this moment, we kind of we are on the side of the Senate. What we need to do is convince the governor and the assemblyman that this is the correct way, because we don't like really the job of tax to tax collector.
So on the this trailer bill, again, this is something, as you said, but it's on this one that you put on this slide here, the governor's budget trailer bill.
The next slide.
Yeah, the next slide, and it says it ranged from 95 cents to $10 a month, just depending. Well, that is a tremendous amount of increase.
It is, and if we add 24, it would be about 24% on the water bill.
Right.
And we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
This year, for example, El Toro is thinking and coming like 2.4 increase. And we are minimizing that the much we can, because the water in Metropolitan went 4% and all costs of other things that we need to. But we adjust, we have reserve, we adjust, so the impact on our community will be small.
Right.
But if we have to add taxes, we'll be the bad guys.
Yeah.
And the governor will get the money, and I don't know where they will use it. So my purposes of being today here is to let the people know that there are two proposals in the state assembly and in the Senate, that the idea is that there will be tax, and if you can call or deal with your elected official, tell them, no, you don't want tax. Tax is not the solution. Let the professional in the water industry deal with it. Find the solution, and then once you have a plan, then you start finding the money. And we have the money. And the last slide, I'm proposing basically I'm announcing what the position of El Toro is.
Okay.
We oppose any legislation that will increase the tax and will make us tax collectors. We also support the position of the state Senate, which is create a fund, start with 150 million every year, and we start solving the problem, but we need to have a solution, a plan with an implementation. So we're working currently with other water agencies in the state, especially the ACWA, which is the Association of California Water Agencies, illustrating and helping educate the senators and the Congress and the assemblymen to make sure that they understand the problem and the solution that we propose. So be aware, no tax is the solution. We'd rather have a trust or a fund created by the current excess money that we have to start solving the problem.
Okay, so is there a plan in place, meaning where the water agencies are working with the Assembly and the Senate and the governor with these proposals, going up to them and having a group that's...
Last year, actually, when prior Governor Brown, we actually had a plan. We created a plan. We identified the problem and we proposed the solution. The Assembly passed bills approving that proposal. The Senate also approved that proposal. But when he went to the desk of the governor, he vetoed it. Because he said, no, I want the tax, I want the money. Because without money, I cannot plan anything. So then the Governor Brown left, and we have a new governor, Newsom. He came with the same idea of the tax. The good thing is that he has placed in certain positions younger people, very smart people, very open to dialogue, and we have been meeting with them. So we have been meeting with them. They are kind of listening, but we're conscious that there is a problem, and what they don't want to happen is that this problem will continue forever. He said, if we decide arguing, we will take years to find a solution. We're saying, no, we have a plan already.
Yeah.
And that's what we are doing. We're trying to implement real plans to make sure they know what we're doing. Yeah.
All right, very good. So let's hope your ideas and the water district's ideas are the one that they go with, because it's getting to the point in the state that
people
are
cannot
leaving.
afford.
Yeah.
I mean, every time that somebody think about something, it's a tax.
It's a tax.
We cannot live with that, though.
Jose, always good to see you, sir.
Pleasure being here.
You take care, and we'll be right back.
Yes.